Well, living environment fans, that was cool. I really enjoyed the solar eclipse. I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, really, really cool. Once in a lifetime experience. I hope you got out and enjoyed it. Hope to use your glasses to see it. Yeah, what a great break it was. Let me know how you did on your break, if you did anything fun and exciting besides the eclipse or in addition to the eclipse. And yeah, let's get on with today's Bellringer, shall we? We're in our final stretch drive now towards the fourth quarter. Yes.
All right.
Hey now.
Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
You might learn a ton.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
He's interested too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
In case you've forgotten what we were studying since before the big break and week, we were studying, of course, Mendel and Mendel's rules for inheritance. Right? He's the father of modern genetics, right? And he worked with peas. You remember that? So, right? And of course, Mendel was from Central Europe. He was an Austrian monk, and he worked in the gardens, and we know his story. It was kind of tragic too, right? Remember that? Good. He worked with peas. I mean, he worked with a lot of other plants, but peas were what made him famous, because pea plants, you could really control who was the parents of who, right? It's not so easy to control with plants, with the things like wind and insects and stuff like that. But with peas, you can do that. So it was kind of luck that he had peas to work with. And he looked at traits, right? And he found that some traits always showed up. He called those, right, dominant. And then so some traits would be easily covered up by dominant ones. He called those, that's right, recessive traits. And he can make predictions about what offspring would look like. If you know the genes of your parents, you can figure out the genes combinations that will arise in your offspring. And he did this all just by working with peas. Okay, we also learned how to use what's called the Punnett square in order to calculate gene frequencies. And right, Punnett square is where you line up the genes of one parent on one side and the other parent on the other side, and you figure out all the allele combinations, right? Yeah, take a look at this one. Good. Right, and so, yeah, we studied a lot. And then we studied that you could, that's just one Punnett square is one allele. If you have two alleles or two different genes, you now have a Punnett square that gets bigger, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until, right, it's just so big. And then, of course, how did we learn all this? We learned this by playing the face game, right? If you remember the face game, there was a fun game that we played to learn how genes work. And then we can use the face game in Punnett squares, and we can make predictions of what offspring would look like, right? Try that one. How about that one? How about this one? And finally, this one. Good. Yeah, so we're going to continue to look at genes and how they influence populations more than anything else. And that's what we're going to kind of be moving towards as we are now in April, only a few short weeks away from the Regents exam. And yeah, we're doing well. And it's great to see all of you again. And let's make it a good day. All right? All right.